What you got, fam? I know you got some good shit.
A bunch of shit hidden in plain sight. You know what I'm saying?
Hidden in plain sight.
Nah, but look.
What you got? I gotta hear.
Now I want to talk about the moon for a little bit.
I love the moon. What you got about the moon?
The moon is too big for Earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, check this out. Statistically, no other planet moon pair in the solar system has such a large satellite compared to its host planet, nigga.
I see what you mean.
According to the giant impact theory, a Mars-sized planet named Theia may have collided with early Earth. And this is gonna tie into this fucking book here.
Okay.
And I just barely found this shit right here, fam.
All right.
And the debris coalesced into the moon, but the isotopic ratios of oxygen and other elements in lunar rocks are almost identical to Earth's crust, suggesting the moon didn't form from foreign material at all. Okay, but here's another crazy thing about the moon. It rings like a bell.
Yes, it does.
During the Apollo missions, astronauts placed seismometers on the lunar surface. When the Apollo 12 lunar module intentionally crashed into the moon, the vibrations rang for nearly an hour.
Yeah.
Like a bell, nigga.
I've heard about that.
That's how NASA describes it. This led to speculation that the moon might be hollow or at least have unusually low density internal layers. What do you think about that hollow shit?
No, absolutely. I agree with that. Bro, there's even been stories of a simple landing on it creates vibration, a bell sound. Nah, if you ask me, that bitch is a satellite and was artificially put there.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
There's even text back to Atlantis times
when the moon wasn't
there was no moon.
Hell
that shit's new.
That's crazy. I just recently heard about them texts when the moon wasn't there.
Yeah, the moon.
But you know what they also say about it being hollow is that it might be some type of fucking ship or there might be beings in there. And I think they also said, man, when they landed there on the moon, they said something about they're watching us.
Yeah. There's a shitload of stories on that.
Hey, I wanted to dig into that deep too, and I was almost gonna do that for this episode too. There's so many shit out there to dig into.
There is, bro. There is.
But yeah, so it rings like a bell, nigga.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay. All right, check this out. It's the perfect size and distance. So like we said, how it could have been placed there, right? Somebody fucking placed it there. It's the perfect size and distance for eclipses. The moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, but also 400 times closer to the earth, making them appear exactly the same size in the sky.
So that's mathematically placed.
That's
not accident.
That shit ain't no coincidence.
Fuck no.
You know, for it to just randomly happen like that. Somebody strategically fucking placed it there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at that. 400 times smaller than the sun and then 400 times
away. That's why making it perfect.
Perfectly close.
Man, I can't believe I missed the last eclipse. I
think I seen that shit.
I didn't. I missed it.
But why would they do that? Is it to give us signs in the sky or what?
That's a very good question. That's why I want to study the moon, because the moon has a language, and if you know it,
hey, I didn't even think about it like that.
The moon has a language, and
it's trying to tell us something.
Yeah,
or tell the sign. Nah, damn, I didn't even think about that. It talks a little bit about that in the Bible. You know what I mean about? Signs and shit like that.
What is it called? The moon affecting the earth is biblical.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Me and my girl were talking about that.
So this perfect alignment allows for total solar eclipse where the moon perfectly covers the sun, No other known moon in the solar system fits this coincidence so precisely. So there's another fucking clue right there. The far side of the moon has a thicker crust, fewer Maria dark plains, and a massive impact basin called the South Pole Basin. Some radar mapping has shown unusual metallic masses deep under the surface, possibly remnants of a gigantic impact or something artificial. Man, there's all kinds of anomalies there on the moon.
Man, I could get into a lot
satellite, just all types of structures. But nah, I just want to talk a little bit about that, man. But I'm gonna get into the real topic here.
Okay. Oh, you just want us to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, because I just want to know what you thought about that shit.
Man, I could comment on that for hours. But hold on, let me say one thing, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Man, there's just one story that fucked with me. A group of CIA, not just some idiots on the street. A group of CIA, the head of fucking CIA said this from his mouth, that they many years ago they had a group of remote viewers, and they were very interested in the moon. So they would send these remote viewers to the moon. They would never tell them what they say go to the moon, certain place on the moon, and would tell us what you see. Each remote viewer they never conversated about. They never had the opportunity to even talk about what the fuck was gonna go on.
They were just sent there.
They were just sent there, and none of them had an idea, and they never even had the chance to discuss with each other. But they all said they're slaves up there.
No shit.
That worked their ass off. But each remote viewer that went up there, they could see them. You know what I'm saying?
No shit.
They could see that they're watching them, and they'll straight up tell them, "You don't need to be here. Leave." So they will come back to their body, and they'll send another remote viewer back to the same spot, and they'll tell them, "You do not need to be here. You need to leave and quit sending people here. And what we're doing is, none of y'all's business." And they kept recycling this. They kept sending remote viewers until finally they snatched one of their souls up on the moon, just from remote viewing the moon.
That's some crazy ass shit.
And whenever they snatched his soul, the motherfucker is just on a bed, just in a coma.
What the fuck?
He won't get his soul back.
Is he still like that, or
He's
was this
still like that?
No shit, fam.
And when will they give his soul back?
He's
Who
up
knows?
there on the moon.
He's up there on the moon, but man, ain't that crazy?
Hey, that's some fucking
species and all kinds of shit up there.
I wonder is it human slaves, or is it another race of fucking beings?
Nah, it's another race. It's another race because they were saying they're like 10 to 11 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's human.
Man, that might fall into play with some of this shit I'm about to talk about.
What you got?
But I got these. These are the actual. Or they're not actual, but they look like this. This is just an image I created. The tablets.
Oh,
they're called the Enuma Elish. All right,
Enuma Elish.
This is what I'm gonna talk about.
Okay.
So the Enuma Elish is one of the oldest stories ever written. It's basically the Babylonian creation epic, carved into clay tablets nearly 4,000 years ago in ancient Mesopotamia. And these tablets, even though these are 4,000 years old, it's said that these are even copies of much older tablets.
Damn.
All right. The name Enuma Elish means when on high. The first words of the story, it describes how the universe came into being, not through peace or love, but through cosmic war and divine conflict.
Fuck yeah.
All right. So look. They were discovered in the 1840s through the 1850s, or in between, by British archaeologists in the ruins of Nineveh and what is now northern Iraq.
Okay.
Iraq, stored in the library of King Ashurbanipal, one of the oldest known organized libraries in history.
Oh shit.
The tablets are now preserved in British Museum in London, cataloged under the designations K5419 and others. The symbolism in this book right here, the Enuma Elish, are on these tablets. I mean, proposed that Tiamat was once a real planet shattered by a cosmic collision. Before the earth, before the moon, before the world as we know it took form, there may have been another planet. Her name was Tiamat. And she was supposedly, or it was supposedly right here where Earth was found.
Okay.
Okay, so according to the Babylonian Enuma Elish, and this is where they're gonna get fucking hypothetical and shit like that.
Fuck.
So look,
this is gonna be
the universe began not with peace but with war. The younger gods rose up against the elder ones, and in the chaos that followed, the sky god Marduk faced the sea dragon Tiamat in battle. Marduk split her body into two. Half became the heavens, half became the earth. It is one of the oldest stories on earth, but some believe it's also a cosmic record of something real. Look, in the 1970s, researcher Zechariah Sitchin reinterpreted these tablets through an astronomical lens. He claimed Tiamat was once a planet orbiting Mars and Jupiter. Then came a Rogu world. Rogu world, Nibiru. Okay. Home of the Anunnaki. Okay. As it passed through the solar system, its moon struck Tiamat, shattering her world. Half of her body, he said, was crushed into dust and rock, the asteroid belt which we see today. Mm-hmm. The other half was thrown into a new orbit and became Earth. In this vision, we literally live on the remains of a slain goddess. Earth herself is Tiamat reborn. So Tiamat was the older planet, right?
Planet, and we're on a piece of it.
Yeah, we're on a piece of it.
Formed into a planet. Uh-huh.
But it was one of Nibiru's moons. Earth. That crashed into Tiamat, this old planet, right?
Okay. One of Nibiru's.
Because they say that the planet Nibiru only. It comes near us like every 3,600 years or some shit like that. Uh-huh. But that's the planet that these Anunnakis live on. But why this shit is so interesting is how the fuck are they talking about this?
Explain to me. Like what do you mean?
So we're talking about a planet that was here before Earth.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. That got into this cosmic collision.
Yeah.
And then formed Earth. How the hell do they know this happened? You know what I'm saying? And that's why they trip out on these tablets. Because who the hell gave them this information that you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't know nothing like this.
Especially these tablets are 4,000 years old, and even then they were copy of an older.
But even how would we even fucking figure that out? You don't figure that out unless, or you don't know about this shit unless you seen it and they recorded it. You know what I'm saying?
You can't just make that shit up. You know?
Yeah. It's crazy, but look, we're gonna find some fucking evidence that kind of ties into this shit. Okay. So mainstream scientists say no credible orbital mechanics support a world that swings past Earth every 36,000 years. So they're saying that Nibiru can't exist. You know what I'm saying? They're
I see.
They're trying to exit that out and try to call this story fake.
Okay.
So it says there's not a planet that comes by Earth every 3,600 years without destabilizing everything else. In short, there's no physical evidence that Tiamat ever existed as a planet.
Okay.
But myths are not about data. They're about memory, and sometimes memories hide in plain sight, my nigga. Hide in plain sight. All right, so look, check this out. There's a dwarf planet. It's called 2012 VP 113.
Okay, yeah.
Which has a nickname Biden. It was first observed on November 5th, 2012 at an American observatory in Chile by astronomers Scott Shepard and Chad Trujillo. All right, that dwarf planet. So check this out. This dwarf planet, it orbits and some crazy ass. The way it orbits tells them that something's bigger out there. You know, there's got to be another fucking planet out there, and they're calling it Planet 9. Planet 9. Okay. A possible giant world lurking far beyond Pluto. But I thought they said that there's no evidence of Planet Nibiru or no shit like that ever existing. Man, hey, they was wrong, fam. They was wrong. Clues to a bigger planet. The orbit of 2012 VP 113, that dwarf planet, and similar extreme objects has been used as part of the evidence for a hypothetical distant massive planet. Okay. Sometimes called Planet 9, that could be shepherding or aligning orbits of distant bodies. Because there's other dwarf planets out there and shit. And the way they're orbiting, like I said, it's telling them that something's big out there.
Something else is big.
Something's big out there.
Manipulating the rotation of them, huh? Okay.
Look, when Scott Shepard and Chad Trujillo discovered 2012 VP 113, they noticed something strange. Its orbit wasn't random. Instead, Biden's orbit lined up in a very specific way with another extreme object. Sedna, discovered in 2003, both had very elongated elliptical orbits. Very distant. The closest point to the sun. There's some other information. Hold up. Their orbits pointed in nearly the same direction in space.
Oh, shit.
So something's pulling them in the same direction. You know, they're both getting pulled towards something. So it's telling them something's fucking big out there.
Okay.
But the alignment seemed too unlikely to be coincidence. When astronomers mapped several other distant objects, the pattern got clearer. All of their perihelia, closest approach points, and orbital tilts clustered together as if something massive was tugging them into alignment. So the idea is that this distant planet's gravity acts like a shepherd, keeping smaller icy bodies like these dwarf planets controlled in a similar orbital direction. You know what I'm saying?
No, that makes sense. Something's keeping it in check. Because if not, it'll hit everything around it.
And so now we're finding fucking ties to this old ass story. You know what I'm saying? We're now finding evidence that's kind of backing up the story here.
The Anunnaki planet.
Yeah, that's why I'm fucking saying, you know, these tablets are interesting.
Okay.
All right, so hold up.
It's crazy that in Chile they discovered that.
Yeah, they got
like a telescope.
A telescope or some shit over there.
See that? Because I feel like Chile's not really that known. You know?
Nah, it ain't.
They got something now. They discovered a dwarf planet and it's not random movements.
All right, so the possible existence of a hidden outer planet echoes ancient stories of Nibiru, the lost or returning world of the gods from Sumerian and Akkadian myths. Just as ancient texts spoke of unseen celestial forces shaping destiny, modern astronomers may be glimpsing the gravitational ghost of a hidden ruler. All right, and there's more evidence found. Some of our planets, like Venus, our planet Venus, this motherfucker, something had to tug on it, and it's flipped upside down on its axis. So now the North Pole is facing south.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And Saturn, it's damn near 180 or sideways.
I know what you're talking
out of
about.
alignment.
Out of
you know what I'm
alignment, that's the
saying?
word. And something caused all of that shit.
But like also Mars, nigga, that big ass, the big scar across
the
it.
scar on Mars,
It's telling us that something fucking
hit the fuck
when this planet blew up, it flung fucking pieces there at Mars, and it created that big ass scar on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then on the other side, it's smooth. So all the flood waters that were on Mars went to the other side of the planet. But look, Mars was habitable at one time.
Oh yeah, it was habitable.
So I wonder if Tiamat and Mars were both fucking habitable at this one time. And then when this shit happened, it destroyed all the life there on Mars. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see what you mean. Like what happened to dinosaurs? It fucking hit it.
It fucking destroyed life there on Mars too. Have you ever seen an actual image of Mars? Not that fucking red colored one.
Yeah,
but
it's not even the color.
Nah, it's blue and brownish.
Yeah, it's a whole nother color.
Yeah, it's blue and brownish, and the soil there on Mars is actually better for growing plants and shit.
That's why Elon Musk wants to go there, because it can be habited. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just someone's gotta fucking put their work into it. But if you really think about the way Elon Musk is moving, he's thinking real good, because he's making cars that run on solar panels. If you go to Mars, there's no gas, but there's sun. Right. Not only that, artificial intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So those AI bots that he's making, he can send all that there, and they can build the fucking, they can build everything. Everything's gonna be run off of solar.
Hey, that's a pretty good move right there. He knows exactly what he's doing, fam.
Hell yeah, he ain't no fool. But yeah, Mars can be habited though. It was once habited, if anything. There's life and water up there.
But in some of these tablets, they talk about, because there was another race of almost like the Anunnakis, and they're called Ijiji.
Oh, okay.
And
they habited Mars.
Yeah, no, they used to do work there on Mars, like they used to do here on Earth.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
And I want to think that, I wonder if they're the slaves that are up there on the moon that you were talking about when they were doing that.
The remote viewing.
The remote viewing.
Yeah.
I wonder if that could be them, fam. Because the Anunnakis were almost using them as slaves here on Earth.
Yeah.
But hold on,
their motives, that from anything I've ever heard about them, it's always slaves. They always have slaves.
Always some fucking slaves.
For real.
But look, I want to get in. I'm gonna get into a little bit more evidence about Tiamat, fam.
Okay, the planet.
Yeah. So look,
Tiamat is Nibiru, right?
No, Nibiru is a planet that passes
every 3,600 years.
Every 3,600 years.
Tiamat's the one that blew up.
Yeah, Tiamat was right here where Earth was.
Yeah. And where the remnant or the little piece of it.
So but when Nibiru passed by, its moon fucking collided with Tiamat, and it created Earth. Damn. And the rest of it went in to the asteroid belt. Like there's actually 2 asteroid belts out there.
There's one on Saturn, no?
There's one.
No, I'm tripping.
There's one further.
Yeah. No. I'm already thinking about the.
Nah, but also when you put all these rocks together, it forms a whole nother planet too.
The mass of it could create a whole nother planet.
But look, there's also some artifacts that have been found by coal miners, suggesting that these artifacts, suggesting that these artifacts are 1 million years old.
Okay.
Coal forms from ancient plant material buried in swamps and compressed over millions of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the coal itself gives a geological timestamp.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what these charts were that I had right here. It, like the brown coal, 30 to 70 million years old.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them are over 300, man.
Over 300 million years old. Okay. Here's where things get weird, my nigga, and controversial.
Okay.
These are the reported artifacts that supposedly came from inside solid coal, implying they were sealed before the coal hardened. So if these reports were accurate, their age would match the surrounding coal, making them hundreds of millions of years old. Here are the artifacts I got. Like an iron pot, my nigga, 300 million years old.
In Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma in 1912, they found an iron pot. Bale and coal, in Newton Anderson, West Virginia. An iron cube in Austria. A wheel in Ukraine.
Oh, I know that one.
And man, so they're finding all these artifacts. Well, how the fuck did they get down there? You know what I'm saying?
The wheel, I know what you're talking about.
So some people are suggesting that these were artifacts from that planet Tiamat. You know what I'm saying?
They're just
and when all that shit happened and Earth formed, that's how they got so deep inside the Earth. You know what I'm saying? These are remnants of that older world. So
man, I know what disc you're talking about. I'm trying to find it.
Man, I didn't see the wheel myself.
Man, hey, that thing is over 300 million years
I got
old.
a picture of what the pot looked like.
Oh, that was found in coal.
Yeah, that was found in fucking coal.
God.
300 million years old, fam.
Oh man.
300 million years old?
Damn.
That means humanity.
Questions everything. Man, then again, we don't know the real history of.
How old is humanity then? What?
To find a pot that's 300. Man, I know damn well back then something was living. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not the first. You know?
So if these were genuine, it would mean intelligent craftsmanship existed before the age of the dinosaurs, which contradicts every known scientific model of human evolution. That's why mainstream science considers them misinterpreted or contaminated finds. If even one of these artifacts were verified as authentic and truly encased in ancient coal, it would mean advanced beings, humans or otherwise existed on Earth hundreds of millions of years ago. So our understanding of civilization timelines would be off by a factor of 1,000. It could imply cycles of lost civilizations, a concept echoed in the Book of Enoch, Sumerian Kings List, and Thoth's Emerald Tablets, my nigga.
Hell yeah.
Which speak of civilizations rising and falling. You know, man, there's some crazy ass shit out there.
Fuck yeah, especially when you get into this shit. That's crazy, cause, man, then again, that's written in tablets, huh? For that's over 4,000 years old.
Yeah,
and then they're copies of
an older one, and those are probably copies. They gotta be
coming up with that. I mean, it's not that they're coming up with it; is they know that shit.
They knew all this. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, and man.
And that's why it blows my mind, my nigga.
It's gotta be a part of history that's not taught to us, but is true. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if they're gonna be writing this, I mean, fucking, and they wrote it in cuneiform. Cuneiform writing.
I've seen this writing before.
That's how they write on them tablets. But man, who comes up with this shit?
I have something in my phone that matches this writing that was discovered in real recent.
Really?
Yeah.
And they got thousands of these tablets that they haven't even translated yet.
No, mames. Really?
Yeah.
What? Let me see if I can find that
shit. Developed by the Sumerians in Mesopotamia. Primarily clay tablets, a scribe would press a reed stylus, often to cut to a triangular wedge shape, into soft clay to form signs, then bake or dry the tablets to preserve them. So, if you're gonna go through all that work, you know, to write these stories down and shit, man, you gotta be. It's gotta be real important.
Gotta be real important, not just.
You know what I mean? They're trying to save history.
Yeah.
They're trying to serve what they've been taught.
A lot of history.
And for us to be sitting here calling this shit mythology and all that shit, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Because I know what you're saying. You're saying, like now, someone can write a mythological story.
Mm-hmm.
One, you know, there was a mermaid that existed in California, right?
Yeah.
But back in the day, when you're having to heat up clay tablets,
and
you're not just gonna do some bullshit.
Nah,
you know
they got work to do. You know what I'm saying?
And not only that, every generation has a concept of we need to save history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like even us.
You know,
yeah. We try to keep records of all our knowledge and shit like that.
Pass it down. That's like a very human thing. You know what I'm saying?
And we probably got it from these people here.
That makes sense.
Let me see, man. These Sumerian dudes or these Sumerian people. We got a lot of stuff from them.
Okay.
Hold on, watch. I'm gonna bring some stuff up. Like time. I even think 360.
Oh, the degrees.
The degrees and shit like that.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff from these Sumerians, man. Alright, check this out.
That language, I man, just recently I found something that matches that same writing way. I gotta find it.
Look, that. Okay, so even though the Sumerians lived over 5,000 years ago, many things we use every single day, from the way we tell time to our writing and legal systems, can be traced directly back to them, fam.
Okay.
Base 60 system of counting. That's why we still divide time into 60 seconds per minute and 60 minutes per hour. And why circles have 360 degrees. They use the system for both mathematics and astronomy because 60 divides evenly by many numbers. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and etc. When you check the clock or use a protractor, you're using ancient Sumerian math.
Knowledge, or not math.
Okay, mathematics and geometry. They developed place value notation, the concept that a symbol's position gives its value.
Okay.
They used geometry for architecture, irrigation, and astronomy. They laid foundations for algebraic and tree reasoning,
smart for that
later adopted by the Babylonians and Greeks. Man, these motherfuckers were smart, bro.
What?
Fun fact, cuneiform tablets with complex calculations show they knew Pythagorean triples.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
1,500 years before the Pythagoreans was born.
Was even born, yup. There's actually an image on that.
No shit.
That's how they discovered it. They found an old picture of a guy holding, I guess, a tablet.
Shit.
And it has a Pythagorean theorem.
That's
sequence.
You see, they.
But the crazy part is, it wasn't discovered till 12,000 years later.
1,500 years later.
Yeah, 1,500 years later. Man, and the crazy part was, I was just about to find that, and then you bring that up. That's crazy. Let me find that.
Look, writing and record keeping. The Sumerians invented cuneiform.
Oh, that language.
The world's first known writing system. It started as pictographs to track goods and evolved into full written language. From cuneiform came the concept of written contracts, receipts, and accounting. They had all that shit going on, pal.
I mean, you gotta think about it. For sure, they had a system going on.
Who taught them this, though?
See, look right here. Babylonians used Pythagorean theorem 1,000 years before we fucking discovered that shit.
Look, they even came up with law and government. They introduced some of the first legal codes, city councils, and administrative hierarchies. The later Babylonian code of Hammurabi, based on earlier Sumerian principles, formalized an eye for an eye justice.
Damn. That shit sounds scary.
Sumerians had courts, judges, and written contracts for marriage, trade, and land, the building blocks of all later civilizations. So everything we got going on right now, we got from these motherfuckers.
Would you believe if I told you the reason that even exists today is because of that system back then?
And we're calling these tablets mythology.
No, man.
You know what I'm saying?
There's, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
For as smart as these people are, you think they're gonna sit there and write some fucking mythic book
some
about
shit that we use today? You know? The 60s, the 60 thing. I never thought about that. What the fuck is the point of clock?
Yeah, and
equaling up to 60.
Hey, somebody taught them that shit, but it was the Anunnakis. And I'll get into that here in a little bit.
Okay. You got it here right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get into the book.
Cause damn, you got me there.
Written and record keeping. Today's bureaucracy, bookkeeping, and even written laws trace their origin to this innovation. Agriculture and irrigation systems. The Sumerians engineered vast canal networks to irrigate their crops from the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. And this book here, it talks about how the Gigi beings were actually carving out the Tigris and Euphrates river, fam. They actually fucking dug that canal there.
So you're saying the tablets say that they dug that canal at the Euphrates
to create civilizations and shit like that.
I've heard about shit like that, but not what you're talking about. I've heard of other civilizations having to carve out a whole canal.
And that's what they did. That's what they were doing to start civilization here, and they got mad, fam, because. Nah, I'll get into it here in a little bit.
Don't spoil it just yet. Yeah.
They invented the plow, improving crop yields dramatically. Wow. Their crop rotation and water control strategies are early forms of agriculture engineering, still used conceptually today. The city and urban planning, they built some of the first true cities.
Wow.
Introducing zoning, residential, temple, and commercial districts.
The whole fucking system.
They invented the concept of the ziggurat.
The ziggurat, the building.
The building.
It's over there in Iraq, no?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a big fucking building.
Pyramids and later monumental architecture. Urban design, streets, courtyards, drainage systems.
Yeah.
And modern cities echoes this early planning, nigga.
Damn, they found 12,000-year-old plumbing.
Yeah.
You've seen that shit made out of cast iron.
That's where they got it from these Sumerians.
Crazy, man.
All right. Okay, so let me get into this book, fam.
Okay.
And this is another tablet.
Oh, that's not that one?
It is.
But this is another one.
The tablets I was reading are the Enuma Elish. You see, this book also includes the Atrahasis, the first Greek flood myth. The flood myth, fam. Gods, not men, performed the work. Bore the burdens, the weight was too great to work, too taxing, a sword plight, the 7 great Anunnaki made the Ijiji to take the load. All right. So look, it talks about Elil and Enki and all that shit, fam. Let me see. They caused the gods to carve out the many water canals. They had to open up conduits, the substance of the land. They caused the Ijiji to carve out the many water canals. All right, let me see. So the immortals carved out the channel of the river Tigris, and the divinities carved out the channel of the Euphrates, boring a chamber at the lowest depths. So they use these fucking Ijiji beings to do all this work for them. The Anunnakis, they were like the workers. You know what I'm saying?
So they were doing their dirty work.
They were doing their dirty work.
Damn. Got them plowing and shit.
Look, it says it was 3,600 years in which they carried the heavy loads. The work was burdensome. Damn. They were busy night and day, so they grumbled and blamed one another often enough. They complained over the piles of soil they had dug up. They said, we should go to the chamberlain, to our chief overseer, so that he might bring us rest from our unrelenting labors. And these Ijiji are talking to each other. They're like, man, we need to go fucking tell these motherfuckers that hey, we're tired of working, man. You know?
We're tired.
And look, he says, let us go and bring out the Lord as the supreme authority.
Shit, they're fighting for rights.
As the counselor of war. Bring him forth out of his house. Let us go there and collect Elil. And Elil, you know who Elil was, right? Yeah. The fucking owner of that Black Knight satellite.
Yeah.
So he was the supreme authority at this time. He was the one making these motherfuckers work and doing all this shit. Okay. So as the counselor of war, bring him forth out of his house. Among them, Allah raised his voice to speak and be heard, making a speech to his brothers, to all of the high gods. The Gigi called themselves gods too. So he's talking to his people. He said, we kept track of every long year that we've worked. It has been 3,600 years we have carried the heavy loads. The work is burdensome. We remain busy night and day. So we grumbled and blamed one another. Leo out of his house, he said, let us raise up our battle cry and bring war to the fore.
Okay.
The gods listened to every word as he made his speech. They placed their implements in piles and set them aflame.
What?
So I guess they got all their fucking working tools and burned them motherfuckers. They're trying to call. Yeah, they're tired of doing the work.
Damn.
All right, their troubles dispatched to the fire god, consumed in fire when they arrived at the gate of Elil. So they went to the fucking Elil's house, which was right there in South Africa. Remember I was telling you about Adam's calendar? It was an old gold mine, fam.
Yeah.
And so there's a place right there, and it's still, part of it's still up, but that's where Elil used to live.
Mm-hmm.
We ought to look that shit up.
They went to
his crib.
Damn.
So wise ward counselor, it was already nighttime. It was already the middle watch. His house was already encircled, but the god did not know. He's talking about Elil. He didn't know. It was already nighttime. It was already the middle watch. Eker had already been encircled. I guess this was the name of his place, but Elil did not know. But his servant Cow had the good sense to close the gate. He secured the lock and then kept an eye on the entryway. Cow went and woke Nusku, which was another Anunnaki, and they observed the Ijiji. Nusku then went to wake up his lord, got him out of bed, nigga. So he was just crashed out. They went, hey, your fucking house is surrounded by these Ijijis. They're trying to cause war.
They want rights.
Yeah, they want rights. And pretty soon AI is too.
Gonna do the same shit.
So Nusku then went to wake up his lord, got him out of bed. He said, Master, you must know that your house is surrounded.
Hijo de su madre.
An voracious mob has already gathered about your door. They were already at his door. Master Elil, you must know your house is surrounded. Okay, so Elil had weapons, nigga. He kept for his residence. Brought out, Elil raised his voice to be heard, saying to his officer, Nusku, first you must go and suitably secure the door. Then pick up your weapons and set yourself before me. So he's telling him, hey, go lock the fucking doors, nigga, and get your guns and come on.
Grab the gats.
So Nusku went and sought to suitably secure the door, then picked up his weapons and took his place before Elil. All right. So let's get on to the later one. Well, anyways, this is where man came to be.
Okay.
All right. So after this war, Elil had brought the other gods. There was Anu, and he would rest in the sky, fam. That's where he lived. I guess he lived on a mothership.
I've heard a lot about shit.
And
like
I
that.
guess it was just in orbit. It just stayed in orbit there.
I've heard a lot about
and that's
shit
where he lived. So he got that Anunnaki Anu, and then he went and got his brother Enki and some other Anunnaki gods. You know, and they got together and they were trying to figure out, hey, like, how can we stop this war?
Okay. They want rights.
Yeah, they want rights, and some of
how do we keep them compliant?
Some of the Anunnakis were telling Elil, nigga, they were like, man, like, you seen this coming. I'm not sure what. Well, I could find it word for word, but anyways, you know, they were telling him, hey, you seen it coming. You were working their ass off and had them working all fucking day. He said this was gonna come.
This was bound to happen.
You know. So they came up with a deal with these Ijijis.
Okay.
They said, you know what? They said the only way to fix this is we got to create a primitive. We got a primitive being. We got to create another fucking hominid to do the work of the gods.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And get rid of these motherfuckers?
And take the load off of these motherfuckers.
Okay.
And they didn't want to make man too smart to where, you know, eventually
they could do what they're doing.
They're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna want rights.
Yeah.
You see that shit. Nobody wants to be enslaved, nigga.
It's down to
eventually they start getting smart enough, right? The AI is gonna eventually get smart enough. So
not even a slave-made hominid wants to be a slave.
No.
Eventually they're gonna get to. Damn, you ain't never seen that video of they programmed a robot to do the same job every day for 7 hours, and it self-destructed itself when it realized that that's all it's gonna do.
No shit.
Yeah, and there's a video on that.
What? I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was packing boxes, and when it finally realized this is all it's gonna do for the rest of its life, it self-destructed and said, "Fuck that."
Yeah.
Imagine a robot is fucking rejecting slavery.
But I mean,
imagine
so look,
a conscience being. What you got?
So this is where it starts, fam, from the EGG.
Okay.
Right, the EGG. If they wouldn't have gone to war, they wouldn't have created the fucking humans.
Gone to war. Okay.
So Enki got with this goddess. A goddess named Nintu. They called her Mommy.
Mommy?
Yeah.
Like mommy, like
M-A-M-I. Not mommy. They spell it different, but hey.
Damn, I never heard of an Anunnaki woman.
Yeah, goddesses.
Goddess. That's the first time I'm hearing of this. Okay.
Let me see.
And Anunnaki.
Okay, so they got together, nigga, and their idea was to create the human, right?
Yeah.
They said, oh, here it is. They said there is only one course open to us and a single thing to do. We must create a creature who can carry the burden of the gods.
Damn, more slave.
Belet Ili, the womb goddess, is here. have her bear offspring, that man will be the one who performs the labor of the gods. And this is written in the tablets from these same Sumerian motherfuckers.
They just want slaves, bro.
They said
Don't do shit.
they called the goddess the midwife shrewd mommy, saying, "You are the womb goddess. Give rise to the species of man. Give rise to a primitive human to perform the labor of gods.
It's got to be primitive.
Let him be the one to bear the yoke who does Elil's work." This motherfucker Elil just wants, he don't want to do no work.
Probably
bro.
a lazy fuck.
So that man will be the one who performs the labor of gods. Nintu raised her voice to be heard, speaking to the high gods. It is not best that I fashion him. That is better done by Enki. I guess Enki is a smarter Anunnaki. You know what I'm saying? For it is by his efforts that things are made free from error. But if he provides me with clay, I will certainly carry it out. From this clay, I'm guessing. So she wants Enki to design this human, right? Or design the embryo, and she'll take it in and give birth or whatever.
Damn.
So he said, "Know that on the 1st, 7th, and 15th of the month, I will conduct a water purification, and one god will be slain. Thus the gods will be cleansed through these holy ablutions." And I wonder if that's where holy water came from this shit.
Explain
a water
it to me.
purification.
1st, 7th, and 17th?
Man, I'm not exactly sure what he's meaning by this shit, fam.
Yeah, it gets very metaphorical.
But he said, "Know that on the 1st, 7th, and 15th of the month, I will conduct a water purification."
Something's there.
Right? "And one god will be slain."
What is slain?
I'm wondering if he means one god will be born, which means he's talking about us. One of these humans will be born. Thus, and then the gods will be cleansed through these holy obliterations. So he's talking about cleaning this embryo that's being born.
Okay.
He says, "Then Nintu will combine the clay with his flesh and blood, so that a being, divine and mortal, will come from the clay. Then we will hear the heartbeat rhythms from henceforth. Let the spirit arise into the being from out of the divine flesh." You see, this is
this is where they're adding the spirit.
It sounds like they're in a lab here, creating the fucking human.
And the one thing that just fucks with my head, because I if there's one thing that I've learned to understand is humans can clone a human.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that human won't have a soul. It's just gonna be an organism.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like a dog or a cat.
You're right.
So did they have access to souls? I guess.
It said, "Let the spirit arise
exactly
into the being from out of the divine flesh." Yeah. Man, they're in some type of lab or something here, fam.
They're fucking with something.
You see what I'm saying? Because he said, "Combine the clay with his flesh and blood, so that a being divine and mortal will come from the clay."
Yeah.
I'm thinking the clay is the carbon and all that shit that we're made out of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Clay is probably carbon.
Then we will hear the heartbeat rhythms from it. You know, then it'll start coming alive. He said, "Then let the spirit fucking." That's crazy.
The one thing.
He said, "But let her relate to man while he is alive of his condition, so they will never forget the spirit is eternally made." Whatever that means, fam. That's some crazy shit right there, ain't it?
Yeah, man, it trips me out that these people bitching that they're tired took effect. Like, it trips me out. Like,
it took effect.
Even though they were made or programmed to be slaves, eventually them raising their voice made them
create us.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it's important to speak up.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Like, damn, they're bitching. Now we gotta do something about it.
Yeah, nigga, and damn, then they could create us. But man, it gets crazy, fam.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they're in that lab just creating us. Okay, so she says, then after having done this, combining the clay together, then she conveyed to the high gods both the Anunnaki and Igigi, and she caused her spittle to dribble on the heap of clay. Whatever that's saying something there, bro.
Heap to clay.
Then Mami raised her voice, speaking to the high gods. I have done precisely the task that was given to me.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying, okay, I created this embryo,
Mm-hmm.
just like y'all wanted. And you have slain a god altogether along with his mind. Now I have brought you release from your tiresome task and have caused your burdens to be shifted onto mankind. While you have given humanity the capacity for speaking, thus I have released the bonds and brought you freedom. So they're telling her, she's telling the Gigi, all right,
Oh, because they raised their voice.
y'all got what y'all wanted. We created this man, and he's gonna create the task. Y'all are free to go now.
Oh, because they raised their voice.
That's crazy shit.
That trips me out. Wait, you can even get to a god's head.
Look,
Uh-huh.
hearing every word spoken with relief, they kissed her feet.
Oh, hell yeah, but they're happy.
Until now, we have referred to you by the name Mami, but henceforth you shall be called mistress of all the gods. The astute Enki and wise Mami went to abode of fate. There the womb goddess had already gathered together. Okay, so let's see. It says that she created 7 and 7 were 7 males and 7 females. That's what she created first, but okay, so 7 males and 7 females for the womb goddesses were the determiners of destiny. So he covered each pair. Enki covered them as she looked, and Mami set forth the following customs for the people.
Mm-hmm.
Within the dwelling of women is the bearing. Okay, let's see, my nigga. He said, there shall be mud brick placed for 7 full days. Then there will be a tribute to Bele Eli, the sagacious Mami. Let me see. Okay.
It kind of sounds like she's building the world in 7 days.
Yeah, you see, there's another thing right there.
Okay.
They get a lot of that shit from here, fam.
That's crazy.
Okay, after bearing her baby, the mother will separate herself. Thus, the man will be paired with the girl, who is yet a virgin, only after maturing when her bosom has fully developed. And the young man's beard is seen upon his cheek. Within the gardens of Eden, and past will she find her husband. That's where they got the Garden of Eden from, fam. They had these fucking gardens where, they had the humans mating and shit.
Oh shit, so the Garden of Eden was just a mating ground.
It was just a mating ground.
Are you serious? That's trippy. Like, that makes sense.
Look, she was telling them, you can only have sex or whatever the fuck when her bosom has fully developed. And
what is bosom?
I guess
their ovaries or something?
Yeah, I guess when she's turned into a full woman, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And when the young man's beard is seen upon his cheek.
Oh yeah. So
you know what I'm saying? So she's telling them this is when, this is when.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. When they hit puberty, I guess.
Yeah, when they hit puberty.
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay, so let's go on. Let's move on. And the crazy thing is she talks about 10 months. Then after one full term, upon arrival of the 10th month, that's when she opens her womb and gives birth. And that's what it is now, ain't it? 10 months? Nine months?
Yeah, but it could take up to 10.
Up to 10 months. Man, you can't make this shit up, fam. 10 months?
Yeah.
She's telling them, nigga.
That's crazy.
Okay, so she gives humans orders here. And this is where I think the 10 Commandments come from.
Okay. The 10 Commandments is very interesting. I will say.
Yeah.
I've even heard that the 10 Commandments are a knockoff from I believe 12 Commandments from Egypt, or something like that.
Look, she says the wife and husband will select each other for partners.
Wow.
And Ishtar will be gladdened by the wedding of a man and wife, where it will take place within the dwelling of the father-in-law. And there shall be celebrations which last for fully 9 days. So she's teaching these people about marriage and shit like that.
So marriage is that old? The
That's
concept
old.
of marriage is that old, bro? Cause they always say marriage is just it's something so the government can benefit from and take half your shit.
Nah,
it goes
It goes
back.
this far back to the beginning of humanity.
So it's more than just.
So she was telling humans how to live. This is what you got. Because imagine just creating something. And
So marriage is part of the life cycle.
It is part of it.
I thought it was just
maybe just, I don't know, finding a woman. Because look, he says the man and wife will then live together, bound to one another, and shall carry out the work for their existence.
What?
Acting in virtue, never straying from the honorable, bringing gifts to the gods.
That's some biblical shit.
To live
right there.
according to the ways established for them by the gods. Yeah, that's where a lot of the Bible shit gets it from.
Yeah.
From these old tablets, fam, and some of these things made their way into the fucking Bible.
The Bible. I just can't believe marriage is that old. I didn't realize that. I thought marriage is like a new thing,
Mm-hmm.
I thought back then everybody was just, fucking and,
Look, nigga, this is where the 10 Commandments came from, I bet. So she's telling them to live free from adulterous acts or satisfying homosexuality.
Ooh.
To live free from shameful acts or what brings hands to guilt. Do not attain your wealth unduly, but gain by upright means. Be satisfied with your own things and do not take from others. Do not engage in deceit, but declare all truthfully and honestly. Above all, honor the gods. And after them, honor your parents. Perform labor so you can manage through your own efforts. Because the one who is idle makes his livelihood from stealing. Learning a skill gives a man his living. The slothful go hungry.
Wow.
Do not find yourself eating what another man has left behind.
Damn, that's deep.
Rather obtain your own food properly from the fruit of your labors. Hey, she's telling them some good shit. But if he fails to acquire a skill in its place, he must ply the hoe. So if you can't fucking learn how to do something, then you better go start digging, fucking planting seeds or some shit. There is no shortage of work for one who is agreeable to labor.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Become a marine merchant if wishing to sail. The seas are vast. If you prefer to plow cultivable land, the countryside is wide.
Hey, they're grilling a broke motherfucker.
Yeah, they're telling. So they could. I mean, you don't want to. You're fucking.
Basically saying if you're not gonna do shit, there's enough plowing to do. You better get a skill.
Hey,
if not, there's seeds of damn. That's deep.
They were looking out for humanity, man.
What is it? There's probably a lot more that you didn't even finish.
It says, nothing worthwhile comes without toil. For men or for gods, for men or for gods. You know what I'm saying? So nothing.
Damn.
Hey, she hit that.
Like they can't. They don't even escape from that.
They don't
reality.
even escape from it. Hey, that's deep. It says, likewise, through work one enlarges his own righteousness. When ants leave their nest unseen deep within the earth, driven by the requirement that they provender themselves. When the field has filled the threshing floor with its bounty after reaping, they carry loads of newly threshed grain. So she's talking about ants. You know, they never stop working.
They never stop working. Look, you know, trips me out about ants. They respect their position, and that's how shit's gonna work. Yeah. Like, imagine if you have a worker ant out of nowhere, like, I want to be the queen ant.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, bro, you're a worker ant, and that's what it is for the rest of your fucking life, and deal with it.
They do it.
And that system is gonna work.
And they fucking do it to the best of their advantage, nigga.
That trips me out. But I've always used ants to metaphor for, you know, human capability. Like, sometimes we have a role, you know, that we have to do. Because you don't see a fucking ant trying to be a queen ant, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a worker ant, that's what it is. It respects it, you know?
Yeah, no, that's...
But damn, hey, that's some crazy information. It's basically getting on.
So they're giving them, like, these commandments.
Don't be lazy, find a skill, and if you're not, then there's enough, there's a sea of plowing. There's a seed for you to start plowing right now. Basically saying, wow, that's true.
And this is where I think some of the commandments
thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not...
you see what I'm saying? Like,
all that
they
shit
just turned it differently. Look, let's dig. Okay. What else do they got, fam? Let's see. Then she started talking about the bees. She said, through the air, toiling tirelessly, be it within the cleft of an empty rock. Let me see. Let me skip that. Let's see what else we got in here, fam. Then went to God Elil. He gathered up the things. Look, Elil, this is where he taught man how to forge.
Forge is metal, right?
Yeah,
like
he says,
make swords and shit like that.
Then went to the god Elil, and he gathered up the things which were required to forge. He then saw the father and his son and walked up to them. Elil showed them the way to smelt iron, and to work steel. And they took up the metal implements from the ash pile. From these they produced new picks and spades to utilize to dig long channels to provide food and please the gods.
Oh shit! So basically, now they're teaching them how to smell and forge.
Ain't that what the fallen angels taught them in fucking the Book of Enoch?
Yeah.
How to create weapons and shit, huh?
Yeah.
Damn,
so they're getting educated.
So they're getting educated now.
Yeah. And
okay, man, check this out, bro.
Okay.
Look, so 600 years, not even 600 years went by. The inhabited land sprawled and the people grew plentiful.
Okay.
After 600 years.
That's a long time.
And the inhabited lands raised a howl like a bellowing bull. But the god was annoyed by all the noise that they made. Elil had to put up with all their loud clamor and clatter. Elil raised his voice to be heard, speaking to the high gods. The noise which is made by man has become too great. After this clamor and clatter has kept me from my sleep. Therefore command an outbreak of the shivering disease. So nigga, they're the ones who introduced disease to mankind. Look, let me go on a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
And thus the divine Namtara was summoned by the gods. Then the divine Namtara unleashed the shivering disease, and all of the people were beset by the plague outbreak.
Mm-hmm.
There was one man among them named Atrahasis, and he heeded diligently to the word spoken by his god Enki. So he went to Enki after they fucking put this disease on the people, I was like, hey man, they said, how long are we gonna deal with this disease? You know, people are dying and
damn,
it's causing all kinds of trouble and shit. And so Enki was teaching him how to, you know, he said, gather up the, you know, gather up the high ranking men that run your cities and shit like that. And he was like, y'all need to go say sorry and shit like this and hope that they take off these diseases. But look, nigga, they were after the humans started being loud and shit and noisy like that, Lil kept introducing different diseases. And then he talks about biblical, but look, then he started talking about clearing the rains. He said he was talking to these other gods to do something to stop the rains, you know, so they couldn't grow no more food. He started taking away food. And then he said create clouds. So they were creating clouds that wouldn't rain.
Okay.
And nigga, that sounds like chemtrails.
Yeah.
And then they would create these winds that would go through and fucking destroy all the crops, so these people couldn't eat no more. It's all in there. But these people, they would just keep growing and growing and getting louder and louder, and this led to the Great Flood.
God, biblical.
Man, hey, hold on. Let me bring that Great Flood real quick. I wanted to talk to you about that. What do you think caused that Great Flood?
Man, okay.
Look,
me? Okay.
Because he talks about, oh shit, right here. He says, unleashing the dreaded flood weapon. Damn. So it was a flood weapon, fam.
It was purposely.
Yeah.
It was an accident.
He said, unleashing the dreaded flood weapon and rage like a war. The explosive annihilation weapon will descend over the people who will lose sight of one another in the sheets of pouring rain. Even the gods will be alarmed by the full force of the flood. They will retreat to safety of the highest heaven of Anu. So they when he unleashed his weapon, the gods went up to the mothership that was in orbit. He said, where they will cower like dogs kneeling by an outlying wall. There they will stay, brought to their knees and crying tears. So even the gods were fucking scared of this weapon.
Yeah.
No, they were scared of this shit.
Yeah, they had to evacuate because nothing, they could get fucked up.
Yeah, but hey, what kind of fucking weapon would do that? You know what I'm saying? But so later on, it starts talking about after Enki, because look, this is the real story. It wasn't Noah, the real Noah story.
Okay.
His name wasn't Noah, it was Atrahasis. And he would talk to the god Enki. So Enki got in a fight with his brother Enlil, the one who kept, he was like, I'm tired of these fucking people. You know, they're getting too loud. You know, we need to set diseases. He wanted to kill off mankind. And he's actually the god in the Bible, and Enki's the serpent who was teaching men knowledge. That's why I told you Enki was telling this man to, you know, give offerings and tell these gods that you're sorry, so they could take away these plagues and shit.
Okay.
So Enki was the serpent in the fucking Garden of Eden, and Enlil is the god in the Bible that everybody's praying to and think is good. So they're praying to this Anunnaki that wanted to destroy humankind. So it's all fucking twisted up, man.
Yeah.
But look, so later on, when he talks about unleashing this flood weapon, something came over the sky and it blocked out the fucking sun and all of that.
Years now?
Nah.
I've heard about that.
When I guess it was a flood weapon. It's something big.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a big ass ship or something. But when it came, it blocked out the fucking sun and all that, and it just started pouring rain. Some type of flood weapon, fam. It said it broke the firmament.
I was just about to say that.
It was crazy ass shit.
Because if you ask me, what is capable of a massive flood is opening the firmament. Because above that is water.
All right.
Just open a little bit, drown their asses.
I wonder if that's what. Man, that's crazy. But it talks about it. It talks about that. It broke the firmament.
The firmament is unbreakable to human, but a god could probably fuck with it.
Yeah. Well, he had some type of weapon, fam. It was a annihilation weapon, is what they called it.
And they had a dip because they even ran into.
They were even fucking scared.
Yeah, because now they could get fucked up like them.
Man, that was crazy.
But
fam.
one thing I do know, the flood in you know a lot of texts, it's the Great Flood. It was to calm their asses down. They were getting out of hand. Know what I'm saying? Like,
well, in here he wanted to get rid of them.
Just completely.
Completely. He was fucking tired of their shit, fam. It went on for years and years that he kept setting different, putting different diseases on mankind. And
so they tried the disease route.
Yeah,
and that
it worked a little bit,
but not too effective.
Not enough.
Said fuck it, let's get deeper. Let's do the flood weapon
and
the cleansing.
You know how. It just wipe them all out.
But
man, it starts getting fucked up, fam.
Yeah.
It starts talking about how these people they just start walking slouched over and their eyes are sucking in and they're showing signs of hunger. And it even talks about cannibalism. They had to eat their own kids and shit like that. And that kind of sounds like some of the shit from the Book of Enoch. You know, and some of that crazy shit that was happening at the time before the flood.
Yeah, damn.
Humans were just getting too loud and noisy and reckless.
Had to check their ass.
You know, and Lil didn't like that shit. He said, "Damn, I can't sleep." And so that they started putting. That's why we got diseases still this day, fam. But Atrahasis survived. He was the only one that survived, right? Because Enki told him how to build the boat and shit like that. So that flood story in the boat, that shit
matches up with Noah.
It matches up with Noah, but this is much older.
Damn, man. But look, not only that, there's a movie. I don't want to. It's not even a movie. It's a documentary. I don't want to say the name of it because it's not a. It's controversial, right? But in this, it explains the story of Jesus 2,000 years ago is the exact same story of Jesus with another character. 2,000 years before that is the exact same. Like, it's the same flood, same fucking story.
Yeah, and this is, you know, like I said, this has been copied from another shit text. Too, an older text.
Do you believe that there's a flood coming up? Man, there's a lot of things that I want to talk about, but it involves a certain group of people that will get this video taken down. But this world's becoming very wicked, very, very wicked, and
we're getting noisy, like they did,
man, to an extent that. Man, a lot of people don't even know exactly what's even going on in this world, but the way I look at it, man, something's gonna break. If it's not the people taking the world back into their own hands, it's gonna be something else.
Yeah,
because shit is getting out of hand. There's wars. Well, obviously not affecting us, but there's wars going on in the Middle East that are, you know, man. I can get into depth with.
Look,
all
you
that.
think? I think. That's why Leo left that fucking Black Knight satellite was to continue keeping watch on mankind. You know what I'm saying?
And seeing whenever it's time for the cleansing. Like, one thing I've realized is this cleansing, it has a time, but I don't want to say a time schedule, but It has happened so many times.
And it talks about that in there.
And not only that, it's around the same time when like people like when it talks about homosexuality and stuff like that. Is it basically
just humankind getting out of control,
getting rowdy and getting loud? That's crazy that they use they're getting loud, but they're talking about they're getting out of hand.
Yeah, they're talking about it.
But none of that it gets in depth. I love that they use loud because that covers pedophilia, raping,
just every fucking
but
thing.
they just label it. They're getting loud.
Yeah,
I like that. That's respectful. I like
that's
that.
badass, huh, man?
They're getting loud, and we have to shut them up.
But look, they created us.
Yeah.
So, like I said, that's why it would make sense to leave that satellite here, because they were probably like, you know what? Let's just let them have it. Let them stay here. We'll go find another. So
that's another question. Why would they just leave? Like,
well, they
so back then they were present with the people. They even went to the fool's crib.
Yeah.
Woke his ass up like, hey, wake up. But now they just gone.
They left. But I think
still monitoring us.
I think shit. Because they eventually started fighting with each other too.
Like gods within gods, right?
The gods of war. Remember I was talking about the pyramids were getting fucking blown up, and even gods were starting to get rowdy and shit here.
Damn.
So Earth was just it was just getting fucking bad.
Yeah.
And eventually, they just had to dip out because they had a hierarchy. They had higher gods, lesser gods, and people who would run shit. And maybe the higher god, which I believe would be Anu, was like, you know what? He said, we got to get up out of here. We got
this whole's going to shit.
It's going to shit. We're going to shit. We'll let the human race have it, and we'll pick certain families that will continue to run the world here. And I believe that's why we still got the same system going on, and some of the same families that are running this fucking place. And I believe they got ties to these Anunnaki beings. You know what I'm saying? It would make sense, right? Because these Anunnakis were in charge when they were here. So when they left, they had to leave certain families in charge. And in some way, they got to be related, maybe, or maybe just chosen. I don't know. But yeah, it would make sense for them to leave that satellite here to continue watching us. You know what I'm saying?
Satellite. It has to be a monitoring device. You know what I'm saying?
To see what the fuck we're gonna do, and are we gonna make it? Are we gonna keep fucking up? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna make it to that higher consciousness to where we learn to live more civilized? It's crazy. Or are we gonna fuck ourselves up again, and they're gonna have to come step in? We're destroying the planet now, nigga.
This planet is fucked, bro.
Yeah.
And the good thing is where we live, we're not dealing with a lot of what's going on outside of
if you look at it like that, but actually we all live on the same planet. You know what I'm saying?
We do, but some countries have it worse.
Nah, we're not in the same part though. I get what you're saying. But this is all our home, my nigga. And we gotta figure it out. Once we get to that breaking point, nigga, we're all gonna get it.
I'm gonna finish a lot, man, because I'm gonna finish a lot of what I have to say off camera, after we're done, because it gets into some figures that will get the video taken down. I know for sure.
No shit.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, the humans have to take. What pisses me off is people are always expecting a godly force to do something.
Yeah.
They'll
do something. They gonna put
we're not gonna like it. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't gonna like it
because it could involve innocent.
We gotta fucking fix it.
Man, I hate talking to a certain group of people, and I'm just like, damn, this world is fucked, and all they say is,
God.
oh well, God's gonna do. Like,
all right.
Why do we have to wait for that?
Okay.
Like, so what? We're just powerless.
Jesus is coming back. The Christ is coming back. Why can't we do what?
Why can't we do something?
What he would do when he was here? If he was here,
I'm glad you're talking about that. But what I'm gonna talk about, it has to be off camera for sure.
We can do the same shit, nigga. We can do the same thing. We could
before getting to that measure. You know what I'm saying?
We don't gotta wait for nothing. We can do it now, but it takes humanity to do this shit, fam. If not, they're gonna unleash more diseases, fam. That's what I'm saying. Like that COVID disease, look what happened. People were dying like crazy, just like people were dying like crazy in these tablets after they got done releasing these diseases.
This world
it's still happening. It's still going on. All the shit that these tablets were talking about is still going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Eventually, it got to the point where that wasn't working, and they had to fucking just try to wipe out every fucking buddy. And maybe that's where, the end of times that the Bible talks about, when a third of mankind or whatever is gonna get wiped out. Maybe that's what they're talking about.
What if I tell you, not that long ago, someone actually tried to help us out? Well, what I mean by help out is cleanse the world from this bad virus that's on here. And at the end, they labeled him bad.
I know who you're talking about.
Do you really?
Hell
I don't want to say his name. But
hey, that's a real controversial right there,
but
bro.
Someone tried, bro.
Nah, that's what I heard too.
And this goes down to Plato. Plato once said, if a morally logical man came into this world, they would just crucify him.
Yeah.
I don't know, but...
You see what... man, is that just humanity or... Fuck.
I think it's... Humanity is scared, man. Nobody wants to go out there and actually do that shit because they're gonna die, you know?
Yeah, we're too fucking loud. We're too... Man, it would take a large amount of people to do this shit.
You know what I heard? Supposedly all you need is 3% of the world. Supposedly with that...
That's a pretty large group, though.
It is. No, it's a very large group. But supposedly with 3% of the world, you can do some shit.
Maybe we could help.
But now we're getting into some fucking crazy shit.
Help wake some people up, though.
Gotta be careful with that because those type of people get knocked down real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to talk about that, but off camera because...
there's people out there doing that shit, though. There's people out there doing it.
Well, shit, look what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Oh,
he
yeah.
tried to wake people up.
Yeah.
But
gosh, also...
keep talking about that.
Also, he was on another level, though. You know what I mean? He was still... I don't know. I didn't agree with... He was a lot on the religious shit. You know what I'm saying? And that religious stuff is reasons why we're still not woken up. You know what I mean? So that I don't agree with that part. But I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation.
It is a whole nother conversation, and...
But I mean, this is all I got right here for the episode right here.
But yeah.
Hey,
we gotta talk off camera for real, bro.
Nah, but yeah, these are some crazy stories, man. I recommend, y'all look into this stuff. The Enuma Elish. The Enuma Elish and the Atrahasis is the real Great Flood story. It wasn't Noah.
But yeah, But yeah, hey, that's a
yeah,
good episode. I like
that was
shit
pretty
like that.
good,
It's
man.
very eye opening. The commandments fucked me up, bro. But porque
yeah, the commandments.
I mean, the
part,
Bible has, it does get into that, but this shit got in depth.
it got in depth.
Like basically saying if you're gonna be lazy or if you're not gonna have a skill,
almost like speaking
there's
to
a
your
sea of fucking there's a
fields.
sea of fields for you to plow.
Yeah.
Su madre.
It said find a skill. If you can't find a skill, then hey, pick up a hoe. It said.
And there's a sea of wow.
Yeah.
And not only that,
about the gods can't even escape.
Gods can't even escape that.
Yeah. Man, hey, that's some. They were being real. They were being real. Man, I like this. I like these tablets.
The Bible
man.
does have a lot of stuff.
It does have some good stuff.
But that right there is some shit people need to hear a lot more.
Yeah, it is.